What's up, guys? It's Chris. Welcome to VHP Engines. Okay, so over the past week or so, I mentioned that I was working on a B20V topic or an LSV. Actually, I started with the B20V, and then I decided while I was at it to start looking at the LSV. And then I thinking over that while doing that, putting the notes together, I decided I was going to probably separate the two videos that way it's easier to find and whatnot. Let me put this down real quick. Yeah, I noticed that if I get something in my hands, I play with it a lot during filming. All right, so what I did was I picked out popular basic combos, and that's what the whole thing was supposed to be about. It's like different combinations for LSV, B20V, what to expect out of it and whatnot. So off rip, I'm gonna go ahead and say that all of these are considered, me considering bolt-ons. Like, bolt-ons are automatically factored into it. That's kind of a given for most situations for NA builds. You're going to want your bolt-ons. All right, so we're going to cover B20V. It slightly won out on the contest here of when I asked what y'all want to see, B20V or LSV. First off, we're gonna talk combinations and power expectations, and then we'll talk about the other parts of it, which I know that everybody's thinking about already. So B20V combination number 1, P3F with B16 head. That's P3F is the lower compression pistons. The B16 head also nets you lower compression. You're looking at 9 1 to 1. Okay, so 9 1 to 1. I'm sorry, I got the notes here, but I don't do a script, so I have to take my raw notes and talk professionally around it. I guess professionally talk. We just talk around it, have a good conversation. All right, so P3F, B16 head, 9 1 to 1 compression. You're looking at probably. All right, see, I'm fucking up again. 9 1 to 1 compression for the P3F with B16 head. All right. The next combination would be low compression pistons through P3F with the GSR head. You're looking at a bump up to 9.3 to 1. All right, so that's still relatively low compression. Now, if you're going to boost on that compression, that's a healthy number to boost off of. But we're not talking about boost right now. We're talking about NA. And for that, I would say it's safe to assume that and expect 170 wheel horsepower with a healthy dose of torque to go around that. Maybe like in 130 foot-pound range, or maybe even a little higher. That's pretty good. Assuming the fact that it's going to be around, that's around the same output that you would get from a stock GSR. So the torque will be the differing factor there, and will win out. So just slapping a low compression B20 block with a B6 with a Doc VTEC head, you're looking at GSR beating power outputs. So that's not bad. In this case scenario, I wouldn't recommend, of course, doing the low compression side of the build, but you're still going to win out if you don't want to change out pistons or if you don't have the right block, just because of the fact that the torque is going to be the winning factor there. Now, the next combination for stock pistons, we're bumping up. Okay, I see what I did here. There's three different combinations of compression here, and each different combination has two versions because there's two different heads to use. All right, well, I guess this B20 video will be a little bit unorganized, but the LSV will be a little bit more organized because I know how to attack this now. Okay, so the next level up, you're looking at PHK pistons, which are the high compression B20s. They're the ones that come with higher compression block. PHK with a B16 head, 10-4 to 1. All right, so that's already a decent jump over your other options here. And then your second option with PHK pistons would be using a GSR head, which will give you 10-2 to 1. I'm sorry. Okay, so 10-0-4 to 1. My bad, I read that wrong. And then 10-2-3 to 1. 10-2-3 to 1. And which so with this high compression combination, you're definitely looking at around the 200 horsepower range, right? So that's pretty good. So this is still taking, because PHK is a stock pistons, it's just a high compression version. You're taking a stock B20 block and taking a Doc VTEC head, slapping them together, and you're getting 200 horsepower. And that's pretty easy pretty easy to achieve. And also, anyway, this isn't an exact number. This is like plus or minus 10 wheel horsepower on either side. Like you know, 100. When I say 170, like 170-ish, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. When I say 200 wheel horsepower, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But for this, I'm 100% sure you're looking at the maybe like 189 at the lowest. You know, but you should be always hitting at least 190 plus with PHK. So, you know, 195, 198, these are consistent numbers I see all the time. It's no big deal to hit 200 wheel horsepower with these. And also not super surprising if you get a little bit higher than 200 horsepower. All right. Now, the last combination here is with true high compression. I wouldn't say, well, maybe not true high compression because we're not looking at 14s, although one of them is damn close. This is using aftermarket P30 pistons. P30 pistons are B16 pistons that are with 84 millimeter size to fit the B20. Now, the P30 pistons look a whole awful lot like the PR3s. And when I was first looking at those pistons, I mistook them for PR3s, but they're not. So they're P30s. So if you're going to go do Zeal AutoWorks compression calculations, you're looking at P30s, not the P30s, not the PR3s. And the P30s aren't super higher than the PR3s, but they are higher compression. And the P30 is the piston model they go off of when they're making these for the B20. You can see if you type in like a high compression B20 piston, you're gonna see P30s. They're 84 millimeter. That's what YCP makes, and a bunch of other guys make for the B20. Now, okay, so a P30 with a B16 head gives you 12.94 to 1. P30 with the GSR heads gives you 13.26 to 1. So in this scenario and for combination, I would say if you're going to go with the P30 pistons and you want it because you're really trying to milk out compression without going to race fuel, because I don't personally like to take my compression beyond 12 for pump gas. I wouldn't feel comfortable unless I was running at least E85 for that 13 compression, right? So so the 12 is what I would recommend, the 12.94, unless you're going to run E85 or race gas. So if you're going to plan on running pump gas, P30 pistons, B16 head, and I would recommend using GSR cams. So that'll give you 12.94 to 1. It's right at the cusp of where you would need E85 or higher octane fuel. You're looking at 220 wheel horsepower or more easily with that kind of compression with the B20 block. So yeah, that's pretty great. Now I didn't include like super high compression Wiseco's 14 and change because personally I don't think that much people are going to use the B20 to go with that kind of high compression because you're looking at race gas, E85 at a minimum. And anyway, I'm pretty sure you could, expect like north of 230 horsepower with that, but running with that kind of compression, I would also say you'd have a built head with cams, aftermarket cams and whatnot. So yeah, 230 plus is most likely, maybe even as upwards of 250 wheel horsepower, but I just didn't look into it too deeply. All right, so now to talk about the B20 as in the reliability factor, like B20s are the hit and miss ugly cousin of the Honda family, but I'm not saying to not build the B20. I don't advocate against the B20. I love the B20. I still one day would like to just have me a little daily driver with a stock ass B20. They're fun and they're quick. As far as the sleeve reliability, it's I would be a liar if I didn't say that that's not the case. But at the same time too, like I said, it's hit or miss. I've seen healthy B20s stock sleeves boosted for long periods of time, and I've also seen an NA B20 blow up at fucking 200 horsepower. So it's one of those things you just have to take a chance on if you're interested in building the B20. And I'm gonna build more B20s in the future. I'm not gonna stop just because it's a great engine. It's a popular engine. All right, but like I would have said, even cylinder support system, they used to rate their warranty their B20s also at the same price that they would do every other B series, which is a 500 wheel horsepower. But even now, they warranty the B20 with their CSS to the low 400s. They mass produce this, this thing here, so they've had to have seen several of these fail before they realize, hey, that we're losing too much money here. We can't keep doing this anymore. But I don't want to take away from the B20 because the B20 is a great way to gain a lot of power. If you can't afford to go H22, if you can't afford to go K, then the B20 is a great way to go. But also at the same time too, you know, I did say, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were, you know, talking about the B20 versus the B18, and I'm like, well, how much difference really is 1.8 to 2.0, you know, point 0.2 liters on the for the cylinders. So I guess I would say that if you want, like, if you don't want to 100% like this engine I'm going to use forever and ever, and I don't, or at least foreseeable future, I don't have any plans anytime soon to change out, then the B18 LSV is probably the way to go. And you're probably going to see that when we get to it too. I think it's a little bit more dynamic because we can do more things with compression on the LSV. But again, the B20 is a great bang for your buck. I would not take away from that. And I don't doubt that I'll build more B20s, and probably with P30 pistons myself, and I have that for sale later on down the line in the future. So yeah, B20 is a great block. It is a little hit or miss, but these are all the options that you have with just using cast pistons on NA builds. As far as, you know, for you guys that are inevitably going to ask, oh, what's about boosting a B20V? So I'm going to give you the same answer. It's hit or miss. You can take it up there. There's no guarantee that it's gonna last. There's no guarantee it's gonna fail. I've boosted a B20. I would have pushed it as far as I could have, but it was stolen. So I'll have to try that again someday, and I probably will. All right, so there's that. I'm going to close the statement out for that. The next video, I'm not 100% sure. I might be doing timing on my Nippon CSS LSV tonight. If that's the case, then I'll film that, I guess. If I don't, there's a chance that this is going to be the last video until I leave. I am now, I sped up my leaving process because I got a whole bunch of extra money from work and whatnot, and I'm going to be packing. I'm going to pick up my moving truck tomorrow. I'm packing tomorrow and leaving town Thursday. For those guys that are interested or whatnot, you can follow along on Instagram and Snapchat or whatnot. I guess I'll probably do videos and stuff there. Yeah. Oh, but real quick, for you guys, for, you know, my power estimations and whatnot, you know, like I was having a talk with Jose over at EJA Sedan. I'll plug his channel in here real quick. We were talking about his build. He's just inherited a K-swap car from a cousin, I do believe a cousin that is now working for Tesla. It's amazing the people you meet on the internet, right? So he inherited a K-swap car. He gave me a list of what I had on there, and I was like, well, how much does it make? Because, of course, you know, as car guys, that's what we always say, you know, oh, the car's tuned, how much does it make? But as I'm asking the question, I'm also guessing, like, how much is it making? But I'm guessing it's this. And he's like, yeah, I was like 2 horsepower off. So for the guys here, you know, say I'm just throwing out random horsepower numbers or whatnot, or think that I'm possibly throwing out random horsepower numbers, no, like I've said before, I base my power calculations off of what mods you see on the engine, what I've seen before, what I've done before. So I don't really just throw out random numbers here, you know. And I know there's a lot of controversy there. From the K20 A3 series when I was listing horsepower numbers, and even a couple people, not so much as the K20 A3 video, but a couple people were mentioning that I was throwing out random numbers in my how much horsepower stock or whatnot. Yeah, just a little quick insight because it's been a long time since I've addressed that. And all right, thanks for watching. Hope you all got something out of it. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing some more travel stuff here in the near future. Once I get settled back in, we're going to be talking about the LSV. I might even do it while I'm on the road. We plan on stopping in a hotel between Thursday and Friday, so maybe I'll do an upload there. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and peace.